Hello Red Devils, MUF Legend here and I'm back again in the video. So Manchester United, unfortunately we lost our first Premier League match of the 2021 season against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. We lost 3-1 and it was a very disappointing performance. The players, they need to respond, they need to do something. I'm not sure what happened in that match, but what I do know is that Crystal Palace, they showed more energy, more passion and more desire, and also more quality in the match, which is absolutely shocking because player for player, I think Man United have a better team than Crystal Palace, so the players underperformed again, and that inconsistency that we saw last season has already started in the first game of the season. All the negativity around United, and we still couldn't beat Crystal Palace. It just makes it even more negative. I mean, the first game of the season, you have to win. You're a Man United, you're a big club. The players need to understand that you're playing for Manchester United. And I'm really very sad how far we've fallen from the top in the last 7-8 years. Since Sir Alex Ferguson has left, his legacy, everything that United have created during that time is slowly falling apart. And this club that we all love so much is slowly dying, and that's because of Ed Woodward and the Glazers. The Glazers are, rubbish owners in my opinion, and hopefully something happens. But I'm not confident that United can challenge for the league in the next 2 or 3 seasons. Right now it looks a mess. But Manchester United, we've got Luton in the EFL Cup third round tomorrow, so Tuesday night in the UK time, 8 p.m. kickoff, and it's away. So obviously it will be difficult. All these type of games are difficult to play away against these type of sides. And Luton, they're unbeaten in the Championship. They're actually a really good footballing team, so it will be difficult for us in my opinion. But we're Manchester United and we need to win. We need to get a victory as soon as possible. And I do think based on that and based on the players' fitness levels that we saw against Crystal Palace as well, they didn't look as sharp and as fit as they should have. But that's not an excuse to lose the match. But I'm just saying that they didn't look as sharp and as fit. So I do think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will start a near full strength team, if not a full strength team. So this is my predicted lineup for Manchester United against Luton. So let me get straight into it. So there's been rumours that Dean Henderson will be starting in goal, and I would agree with that. Henderson, he's a top quality keeper. He's not going to be happy sitting on the bench, for most of the season. So we do need to start him when we can. And it's the EFL, third round, so we have to start your second choice keeper. And Dean Henderson will probably start in goal. Now the defense, I pretty much think that we shouldn't change that much. These players, especially the first team, they need more match fitness because Man United haven't had that many pre-season friendlies. We've only had one friendly, and these players need match rhythm. So Luke Shaw left back, centre backs Harry Maguire, and I want Eric Bailly to start. Victor Lindelof, he's been at fault for Man United's last 5 goals that we've conceded. So obviously in the Crystal Palace match, he was at fault for every single goal, and also the two goals before that for last season. Victor Lindelof was at fault for those goals as well. So Lindelof, okay, he's good at build-up play, but on one-on-one defending, Lindelof is very, very poor, and he gets beaten more often than not, and he does make a lot of mistakes. And Eric Bailly, I want to see Eric Bailly given a chance. Eric Bailly, when he's fit and consistent, he's I think in my opinion, Eric Bailly is our best centre-back. If he's fit and consistent, and he gets a consistent run of games, he potentially is our best centre-back alongside Harry Maguire. So Harry Maguire, he had an okay game against Crystal Palace. He wasn't great. He made some silly challenges that he shouldn't have. Also, Luke Shaw wasn't that great against Crystal Palace. And I think it's due to match rhythm, match fitness, but also maybe due to quality as well. We don't know. I guess we'll see against Luton how the players perform. But yeah, I would like to see Eric Bailly start. I think Eric Bailly should be starting ahead of Victor Lindelof, in my opinion. Now the right back, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be back for this match. So Wan-Bissaka right back. Now, Fosu Mensah, I have nothing against him personally. He's a great professional. He was, Van Gaal's key player when Van Gaal was here. However, in my opinion, Fosu Mensah is not Manchester United quality, and he shouldn't be starting for us, in my opinion. He's a good squad player to have. He can come in when players get injured, but he shouldn't be starting for us. And Ole's team selection against Crystal Palace was interesting. Fosu Mensah offered nothing, in my opinion. It was not just Fosu Mensah, but he was very poor. And I wish Fosu Mensah doesn't start for us. as a starting 11. He shouldn't be in the starting 11, and that's what I'm trying to say. Ferguson Mensah should only be a squad player. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he needs to get match rhythm as well. So if he's available, which I think he is, then Wan-Bissaka should be starting. Now the midfield, some of you may disagree with this midfield, but I think it worked really well against Crystal Palace when Van de Beek came on. So Van de Beek in the central defensive mid position. Now he's not going to stay there, obviously it's against Luton, so he'll be floating around. But I think at this moment in time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does see a midfield three of Van de Beek, Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. So we saw Paul Pogba give the ball away so many times. Bruno Fernandes gave the ball away so many times against Crystal Palace, and obviously we know that they're not low quality players, they're high quality players, and in my opinion them two was match fitness. They need match rhythm. We didn't have that many preseason friendlies, so you got to understand that these players, they don't really have that much game in the leg, and they need to build that up. So against Luton, I would start this this midfield three of Van de Beek, Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. It's against Luton Town, so you shouldn't play defensive, and hopefully Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not go defensive by playing Matic, Fred or McTominay, because we don't need to. It's against Luton, but Manchester United play your best players and will improve the quality of the team. Van de Beek came in against Crystal Palace, and he in my opinion, he did change the game. Unfortunately, Lindelof, had to give away stupid goals, but Van de Beek did come on. He scored his goal in his debut. I'm really happy for him that he did score his goal, but unfortunately that it came at Man United's losing expense, that we lost the game. So it wasn't really a good debut for Van de Beek in terms of the result. But personally, individually, Van de Beek, in my opinion, he changed the game when he came on. And Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, I think this midfield trio can work really well together, and I think that's one of the reasons why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has signed him. And Van de Beek, in his press conference, in his interview, he said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did talk to him, for a long time, and he explained to him how he would fit in the midfield three of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion, long term does see this midfield three players being our long term midfield, and hopefully Van de Beek can show and start against Luton, because Van de Beek, obviously he's a new signing, he needs to gel with the squad, and it's against Luton, so this is the perfect time to play Van de Beek. Obviously Bruno Fernandes, he wasn't up to his high levels against Crystal Palace, and neither was Paul Pogba, so that's why we need to get them match ready and match fitness and match rhythm. So I would start them against Luton. And the front three, I'm going to go full strength. So Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood and Anthony Martial. So the front three, Martial looked very not sharp. He didn't look himself against Crystal Palace, and neither did Marcus Rashford. So it's important that these players do get match fitness as soon as possible. And I think this match against Luton has come at a really good time, because they need match fitness. All these players, they do need it. And Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, I'm surprised Greenwood did not start against Crystal Palace. That was one of the key decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think in my opinion, made a mistake in. Because Daniel James, as much as I like Daniel James as a person, everything that's been through recently, we can't, you have to put that aside. In terms of player-wise, Daniel James is not, at the moment, a Manchester United quality player. Greenwood, on the other hand, is a fantastic player. He offers so much more than Daniel James in terms of interplay, passing, crossing, and obviously the main thing, finishing and scoring goals, which Mason Greenwood is 100 times better than Daniel James. So Greenwood, in my opinion, he should have started against Crystal Palace. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made a mistake there. Greenwood shouldn't be starting for us until we get another right winger, which we have been linked to, Jadon Sancho. But unfortunately, that deal may not go through. So Mason Greenwood, obviously he's young, and we cannot rely on just Mason Greenwood starting for every single game for us. But at this moment in time, Mason Greenwood should be starting ahead of Daniel James. Let me know what you think about that. But personally, I do think Greenwood is better than Daniel James, and I'm sure many of you think that as well. So there have been rumours that Daniel James could be heading out on loan to Leeds. So in my opinion, that could be interesting to see whether Man United sell Daniel James or send him out on loan to Leeds. It could be a vital experience for Daniel James to play under a good manager that Leeds have, and hopefully he can develop him. So we'll see where that goes. But anyway, Mason Greenwood, Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford, that's my front three. So this is my whole team to play Luton in the EFL Cup third round. The match is tomorrow, so Tuesday, 8 PM UK time kickoff or 8:15 UK time kickoff. So Dean Henderson in goal, Luke Shaw, Maguire, Eric Bailly, Wan-Bissaka, Van de Beek, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood and Anthony Martial. So the score predictions, I'm going to say 4-0 to Manchester United. I think if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does play a strong team, and he does need to play a strong team because we cannot afford to lose another match, because there will be even more pressure on the players if we do lose another match. So he has to go near full strength. The change I would make is Dean Henderson and Eric Bailly, bring in Wan-Bissaka and start Van de Beek and Mason Greenwood. So they're the changes from Crystal Palace. And they're the key changes that I've made. And I hope you agree with this team, because this team on paper does look very, very strong. But hopefully, they can produce that into a performance against Luton. So 4-0 to Manchester United. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know your starting 11. And let me know your score predictions down below. So it's been MUFC Legend. Please like, subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.